أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين اللهم يسر ولا تعسر رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Inshallah, we continue our lesson on the book Ta'lim al-Muta'allim, Tariq al-Ta'allum. Our session continues with the chapter of selecting the knowledge and also the teacher. فصل في اختيار العلم والأستاذ والثبات. So inshallah we're going to continue with where we stopped. In our previous discussion we've looked at selection of how do we select the knowledge and how do we go about the learning. Today, inshallah, we're going to look at how to select a teacher, because you want to know who and how you can negotiate or become a student to a teacher. In most cases, what happens is we don't know who we are going to learn from, or we don't know how we're going to take the lessons. So we cannot make our mind, and then we end up being from one party to the other. So today, inshallah, we're going to start from how to select a teacher, which is saying, أما وأما اختيار الأستاذ فينبغي أن يختار الأعلم والأروع. So that is where we're going to start, right? No. So basically, we're going to look at how to select a teacher. We've already finished with selecting the knowledge. We were told the importance of the first things first, most important thing that you need at the time of studying, and also things that you might need later come after that. Now,
وأما اختيار الأستاذ
وأما اختيار الأستاذ. But in terms of selecting a teacher, how do you select a teacher? نعم.
فينبغي أن يختار الأعلم والأورع والأصن.
نعم. So the first thing is ينبغي أن يختار الأعلم. First of all, make sure that the teacher that you are taking should be أعلم, someone who is more knowledgeable.
نعم.
Okay? So not just the person has knowledge. No. If you look at the teachers around him, you should see that yes, he is really capable.
نعم.
So number one, أعلم. Number two, أورع.
نعم.
The person should be someone who is most devoted. So you don't want to have a teacher that has a bad character. You want someone who acts upon the knowledge that he has. So that's what we mean by awra. So someone who is devoted, which means that he is not just a teacher, but you can see his actions really follows what he's teaching. All right? Now, wal asanna. And also the person should be older, not a young person. Not because a young person is not qualified to be a teacher, but the idea here is you don't want to take someone that is your age mate, where you will not see the value of the person in your eyes to respect him. No. All right? Because of the knowledge that you are learning from a person, as we will see later, Sayyidina Ali was saying that a person who teaches you a letter in the religion is like a father to you. So imagine you took someone that is your mate, even though he's knowledgeable, no. You will see that you will not have full respect to the person when it comes to your day-to-day life because of that relationship that you have with that person. No. So that's why it said asan. You need someone that is older, who, of course, because of his age also, he will comport himself in whatever behavior that he has. If you have someone who is still young, he still have that sort of mentality of a young person, want to live life, want to enjoy life, and you see him in the sitting of knowledge, and he comes out, you see him in different distance, then you start to have some sort of confusion in your heart regarding that person. And through that, you see that the respect that the person deserves will not be given because of that. So those are the reasons why you need someone who is older, matured.
كما اختار أبو حنيفة حماد بن سليمان
As
رحمه
Abu
الله.
Hanifa al-Nu'man, he selected Hammad ibn Sulaiman, rahimahullah. Okay? He selected him. Hammad was an elderly person. Not only that, very devoted person with the knowledge. So when he sat in front of him, he got every single quality he wants from a person to be able to respect. Not only because the knowledge is there that he will benefit from, but Hammad is someone who is devoted with the deen. So he teaches what he does what he preach, all right? He will not tell you don't do bad thing, and he will do that. And also Hammad was an elderly person. So when Abu Hanifa was taking him as a teacher, he got every single thing that he needs from a person so that he will not have something negative about him.
بعد التأمل
والتفكر.
وتفكر.
So how did he did that? He did that بعد التأمل, after observation, والتفكر, and also thinking. So he did not just jump into the arms of the teacher and said, I want to be your student, but rather he observed, and also he thought, he was thinking, planning, and looking at things that he wants from a teacher.
وقال وجدته شيخا
وقال وجدته شيخا. The word shaykh has multiple meaning. Shaykh in Arabic means an old person. Shaykh also can mean a young person who has compiled multiple sciences of Islamic knowledge. All right? So when we say shaykh, it does not necessarily mean a scholar. Sometimes it can be an old person. Just like when you say ustad, even though normally we call someone who is a professor or a teacher, in most cases we use that to say mister. All right? So the same thing applies to. So he said, wajatuhu shaykhan. I saw him like a scholar with knowledge. But not only that, he's an elderly person, waquran, with dignity, haliman, with forbearance. So these qualities was with Hammad. These are things that Abu Hanifa al-Nu'man, after observing and thoughts of Hammad, he saw him to be a scholar with dignity, forbearance, haliman, forbearance,
and
saburan, also with patience. He treats his students with patience. If you don't understand, he will look for multiple ways to explain it to you. So those are some of the qualities of Hammad bin Sulaiman.
وقال
And then Abu Hanifa said,
ثبت عند حماد بن سليمان فنميت.
So he said, Abu Hanifa said, ثبت عند حماد bin Sulaiman. So I stick to, which means I stayed there. Thabat is to stay something, which means to stick to something. Okay? So ثبت عند حماد bin Sulaiman. I stick to him, I stayed with him. What happened? فنميت. And I benefited. Okay? I got benefit from him. قال رحمه الله. He also said,
سمعت
حكيما من حكماء سرمقند. Samarkand is part of, it's a city in also Uzbekistan. All right? Same as Bukhara, as we talk about. So he said, I heard one of the Hakim. When we say Hakim, mostly a wise person. But sometimes also we will mean Hakim means like, not Qadi, like we use the word Qadi like a judge. Okay, sometimes it can be someone who is in charge of the affairs of the Ummah in that place. All right? So he said, Sami'tu Hakiman min hukama Sarmakandi. I heard from one of the hukama, which means one of the rulers of Sarmakandi, or one of the wise people among the wise people of Sarmakand. All right? What happened? What did I hear from him? Yaqul. He was saying,
إن واحدا من طلبة العلم
Shawarani.
شاورني
Now, inna wahidan. Indeed, one person or someone, okay, min talabati ilmi, among the students of knowledge, shawarani, has come to me to seek my advice or my opinion. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, indeed, he said that. Even the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. Okay? Or anytime when there is something, have a discussion with them. Don't just make your own point. So he said that one student of knowledge, shawarani, came and seek my opinion. All right?
طلب العلم.
For seeking knowledge. He wanted to go for knowledge. So he want an advice or he want opinion. He want opinion. Now,
وكان عازما على الذهاب
على الذهاب. So,
الذهاب.
عازما على الذهاب. This student of knowledge who came and seek my advice on going to seek knowledge, كان عازما. He has prepared. He is ready to go to seek the knowledge. He is ready to go and seek the knowledge. Okay, so he has already prepared himself, and then he came to seek my advice.
إلى بخارى لطلب العلم.
So where was he going? He has already prepared himself إلى Bukhara, to go to Bukhara, a city called Bukhara. From Sarmakandi, he is going to Bukhara to seek knowledge. So now he wants advice from this Hakim.
نعم. وهكذا ينبغي أن يشاور في كل أمر.
وهكذا ينبغي, and that is how it is expected or is supposed to be done. What is it supposed to be done? وهكذا ينبغي. This is how it's supposed to go for any person who is seeking knowledge. أن يشاور في كل أمر. Okay? Any person or anyone, it is encouraged for everyone. Whatever you do, you should seek advice. Don't always take your opinion, but try to talk to other people so that you can at least add more on what you already have.
فإن الله تعالى أمر رسوله صلى الله
فإن الله تعالى أمر رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم بالمشاورة. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded his Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم to seek advice, to always have mushawara with his companions. Even though he صلى الله عليه وسلم وكان يشاور أصحابه في جميع الأمور. He will always consult his companions with everything, even in the affairs of his house. Okay? حتى حوائج البيت. Even the affairs of his house, he صلى الله عليه وسلم will seek advice or opinion of his companions.
قال علي كرم الله وجهه.
So, ولم مشاورة في كل ولم يكن أحد أفضل منه. We skip that. ولم يكن أحد أفضل منه. Even though the companions, none of them is well versed than the Prophet. None of them has more eloquence and more of idea than the Prophet. But nevertheless, Allah encourages him to seek. That is why you remembered when they were going to the battle of Handak.
Yes.
They prepared. They were going to the battle. They were going outskirts of Medina as they did before. And then Salman al-Farisi said, Ya Rasulullah, is this the command of Allah for us to leave Medina? Or it is your own opinion?
No.
And the Prophet ﷺ said, it's my opinion. He said, okay, if you will like, from where I came from, he is from Persia. He said, if someone is trying to attack us in our town, this is what we do. So to dig a trench is not Arabian thing.
No.
It's a foreign thing to them. When he brought this idea and they dug the trench, the people of Makkah, they were surprised. What is this? This is not something we used to. How do we attack someone in this situation? So you can see, it is a companion's opinion and he took it. When they came from the battle, there was a battle they held some of their enemies as prisoners of war. Some of the companions said, kill them, to show or create some sort of fear to our enemy for tomorrow. Others say, why do we kill them? They are our people. Just let them pay some sort of ransom and then they go away. Right?
No.
This is to the extent Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a verse in the Quran to support the one who said we should kill them. Because they paid ransom and gone, so no, we're not doing business here. They fought you, let them see the reality so that they will learn less from it tomorrow. So those are the things that we talk about here. The Prophet ﷺ will consult always, even in the home affairs. I remember the incident that happened to Aisha. No one will open the mouth to say to Ya Rasulullah, this is what you need to do. Ali was his brother. Come here, what do you think? Let her go home until this sort out. So these are the things. Okay, you can keep going and on and see incidents that happen, and the Prophet ﷺ will consult his companions. So when Allah said he should consult them, even though he sallallahu alaihi wasallam la yantiqu anil hawa in huwa illa wahyun yuha, he does not say of his own, but still Allah told him shawirhum fil amr. All right. So this is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Qala Ali karramallahu wajhah. The reason why they say Ali and then they use the word karramallahu wajhah. All right, because Sayyidina Ali was a young boy when Islam started. And he was living in the house of the Prophet ﷺ. Among the companions, he is one of those who have never prostrated to any idol pre-Islam. Alright? So that's why when they mention Ali, even though all the companions, you use the word radiyallahu anhum, Allah is pleased with them, or may Allah be pleased with them. But Ali, in most cases, you hear the word karramallahu wajha, which means that Allah has protected or has blessed his face, because he has not prostrated to any idol before Islam, because he was a kid. Okay, the Prophet ﷺ was at the age of 40 when he became a prophet. Sayyidina Ali was just a kid in his house, so he is not of age to start worshiping, for him to even go about worshiping idol. All right, even that some people want to go further because he was born in the Kaaba. Giving birth in the Kaaba is not any extraordinary thing, because at that time they think that the blessing of the idols will cover him. That is the idea. All right. So, but having said that, yes, he was born in the Kaaba, which is one unique thing about him as well. Now, قال علي كرم الله وجهه
ما هلك أمرؤ عن مشورة.
ما هلك امرؤ عن مشورة. No one will say, because I consulted and I got opinion, that's why I lost, or that's why I am in this state of negativity. So no matter how, if only you will seek and consult, you will not lose. So no one has been caught, or because they did mashura, that is why they have themselves in this negative situation. So whatever we do, if we do consult, all right, we'll be able to get something. And of course, it's part of the rights of a Muslim anyway. There's one hadith that said the right of a Muslim upon a Muslim, khams. There's another one that said sit. All right. The one that said is 6. One of it is when a fellow Muslim comes to you seeking for advice, give him the best of advice. So it's part of the right of a Muslim. So if you have that right towards your fellow brother in Islam, why don't you consult? You always go about do your own things. Now,
قيل
it's been said,
الناس رجل ونصف رجل ولا شيء.
Now, they said, الناس رجل. People are divided into 3. Number 1, رجل, complete person, which is complete man. All right? ونصف رجل, and half person. ولا شيء, and someone who is nobody. So human are considered into 3 categories. This is what we call not ilm al-ras. We say that the hukama, those wise people, will always put this information across. They categorize people into 3: a human, complete human, which is what we call insan al-kamil, and nisfu rajul, which is half a person, and someone who is not even considered half a person. Now, who is complete human? Who is half a person? And who is nobody? Now,
فالرجل من له رأي صائب ويشاور.
من له رأي صائب. A person who has good idea, All right? He has good idea. Nevertheless, he seek other opinion to affirm or to confirm his idea. So the idea he got is already good, but he did not stick to that, but he consulted to be able to get other opinions. This person with his idea is half, to get other opinion is another half. So together he became a complete person. All right? If you have an idea, doesn't mean that go ahead, but at least consult and check. And then نصف رجل
ونصف الرجل من له رأي صائب
ولكن
لا يشاور
أو
أو
يشاور.
يشاور ولكن لا رأي له ولا
So yes. So the second one is half a person. Half a person is من له رأي صائب. He has the best of ideas. All right? ولا يشاور. But he does not consult and get other opinions. So he is half because he is only working with what he got. Or he does not have his own idea, but he is someone who is also consulting. Still, he gets half. Because when you have yours and consult, you got two. But when you don't have it and you consult, you're only getting someone's opinion to act upon. Or when you have it, but you don't consult, you're only using yours. So in this situation, that person is considered half a person. Now,
ولكن لا رأي له ولا شيء من
so that's the second part we already said. So wala shay'a, the one that is considered la shay'a, he is nobody. Now,
نعم
the one
ولا
that is
يشاور.
considered nobody, what is his states?
ولا شيء من لا رأي له ولا
Man
يشاور.
la ra'ya lahu, a person who does not have opinion.
نعم
That is number one. Wala yushawir, and he does not seek advice. Such a person is nobody. He is not even half a person. Okay? So he does not have idea, and he also does not consult. So what is he going to do?
قال
It's been said.
جعفر الصادق
قال جعفر الصادق.
نعم.
جعفر الصادق رضي الله عنه said لسليمان لسفيان الثوري
نعم.
to Sufyan al-Thawri.
شاور في
أمرك.
أمرك
Always consult in your affairs. الذين يخشون الله تعالى. Who are you going to consult?
No.
Consult those who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who fear Allah? They are, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء. Alright? So those who fear Allah are the scholars. So he said, always consult the scholars in all of your affairs. Now,
وطلب العلم من أعلى الأمور.
and of course, seeking knowledge min a'la al-umur is one of the important affairs. Okay? وأصعبها, and is difficult. فكانت مشاورة فيه أهم. So seeking opinion in it is very, very important. All right? Now, وأوجب, and also it's compulsory. قال الحكيم, one of the scholars of the past says, إذا ذهبت إلى بخارى. So now the advice that the person asked the Hakim, he said to him, إذا ذهبت إلى بخارى. If you go to Bukhara, لا تعجل في اختلاف إلى أئمة. Do not go and be looking at the differences that is going on among the scholars in that place. وامكث شهرين. Stay 2 months. حتى تتأمل.
نعم.
Until you observe وتختار أستاذا, and select a teacher. فإنك إذا ذهبت إلى عالم, because if you go to a teacher or a scholar, وبدأت بالسبك عنده, and you start learning from him, ربما لا يعجبك درسه. Maybe his approach or his teaching will not be ideal for you, or will not be good for you, will not maybe that person's approach or the way he teaches will not be something that you will be happy with. All right? ربما لا يعجبك درسه فتتركه وتذهب إلى آخر. In that situation, you will not have a choice but to leave him and go to another person. And when you do that, it will create conflict with you or with the scholars among themselves. So do not rush. You study from this person 1 week, 2 weeks, you left and you go to another person. Because by doing that, you will end up leaving this person, going to another person, and this person will feel like, is it because I'm not good? Is it because he disregard me? Is it because he disrespect me? So all thoughts will come in the teacher's mind to the extent he will feel like, nah, this person. And then if you have issues with people who teaches you and they have that concern, then definitely you will not have blessing in your knowledge. This has nothing to do with when you are in a school system where there are multiple teachers. This has nothing to do with if, let's say, you are learning a specific discipline with a scholar and you're doing different discipline altogether to another person. But do not do something with one person and then go to another person and do the same thing. It's like you are questioning this person's opinion or way of teaching. So you don't want to do that. Now, نعم إلى آخر فلا يبارك لك في التعلم. If you do that, if you leave one person to the other, then of course you will not get the blessings of your learning. فتأمل شهرين. So my advice to you, تأمل شهرين, sit down and observe for at least 2 months في اختيار الأستاذ before you select a teacher. وشاور, and also seek people's opinion. Ask question about them so that you'll be able to have certainty of some things you want to be clarified before you give yourself in to those people. حتى لا تحتاج إلى تركه, so that you will have that sort of comfort that you don't need to leave that person because the information you got is enough for you. وَالْإِرَادُ عَنْهُ, and also you will not push him away or disrespect him because you saw something about him that you don't know before. So if you rush, this is what happened. And it's very important just to put a pinpoint here as well. Sometimes we do forget this. If you know someone with a good character, or you know someone who you respect so much, and you heard about something negative about that person, do not rush and jump into conclusion. Islamically, it's not accepted in that way. Even though, yes, that person might have done that thing or would have done that thing, because of the respect and the way you know that person, try to get at least 40 different excuses in your mind to convince yourself that no, it's not him who did it, or there might be other interpretation on what you heard, instead of jumping into conclusion of this person, with all the respect we got, this is what he's doing behind the scene. Don't do that. You don't know. Sometimes things will happen and it will be a test for the people around. And we spoke about this some time back. There was hikayah about one Amir of the Muslim Ummah, or Khalifa of the Muslim Ummah. He lives in a town where his people drink alcohol a lot. He advised, he gave talks, he punished and did whatever. It didn't work. But he lives more or less like the edge of the town, which means that just at the entry of the town. So he negotiated with the alcohol seller who brings alcohol in town and decided that from now onwards, how many liters do you sell to my town? They said this much. He said, okay, I will buy every liter that you sell, but do not bring more than that. I will buy and then I'll deal with my people. So he kept buying. Now people in town, they stopped getting alcohol. All right? But later they got to know that all the alcohol they're buying, how many people drink? Khalifa drink more than they do, because he buys almost everything that all of them will drink for the week. He will buy all. So people started spreading rumor about the Khalifa. This guy, we expect him to be the leader. This is what he was doing. Not knowing he dug a big well. When they bring the alcohol, he just chuck it inside, so that the people don't get alcohol to buy and they stop drinking. So sometimes things might see in your eyes a negative thing with someone that you trust or respected, but maybe there might be interpretation around that you don't know. So we should try to refrain from jumping to conclusion when someone, or we heard something about someone that we do respect and we heard something negative about that person. So he said here, ta'ammal shahraini, when you observe and sat down and look at things before selecting a teacher, washawir, and also you seek advice and opinions of others so that you can come to conclusion حتى لا تحتاج إلى تركه, so that you will know that you have certainty and you don't need to leave that person when it comes to your studies. Okay? وَإِعْرَادِ عَنْهُمْ, and also you don't need to avoid such a person. Okay? فَتَثْبُتُ عِنْدَهُ حَتَّى يَكُونَ تَعَلُّمُكَ مُبَارَكٌ أو مُبَارَكًا, and you stay with that particular teacher until your learning or your lesson became blessed. Okay? وَتَنْتَفَعَ, and also it becomes more beneficial because of that relationship that you got with your teacher. وَتَنْتَفَعَ بِإِلْمِكَ, and also you will be able to benefit from your knowledge. And when we talk about this, we always remind you guys, it is very important to acknowledge this. When a knowledge is being blessed, you will see that you will be able to also teach someone or people around you. It can be from your house, it can be from your local community or your locality. You'll see people will have some sort of good sense of expectation in you that they will be seeking advice from you. So the knowledge that you've learned, you see that you tend to pass it on because of the barakah of the knowledge. But if knowledge is not being blessed, go and get whatever degree or whatever diploma you're gonna get, or name it, you're gonna get PhD, master. If the knowledge in Islam is not blessed, you will be in the same line with anybody and no one will recognize you. Because remember, we made mention, al-ilmu zaynun li ahlihi. Knowledge by itself, it decorates those who have it. So when you have the knowledge and it's been blessed, anywhere you go, people will tap onto it. And remember, when people tap on the knowledge that you got, forever you will always be benefiting from the reward from Allah from the usage of the knowledge that you shared. So those are some of the signs of the knowledge has been blessed. We know people that they've got the PhD, but still when it comes to the knowledge, no one recognizes them to study under them. So we need to always look at it from that point of view. It is very important to see that. So if you want the knowledge to be beneficial, remember, you need to make sure that sitting in front of your teacher or selecting a teacher is one of the key aspects of how you can benefit from your knowledge. وَعَلَمْ أَنَّ الصَّبْرَ وَالثَّبَاتِ عَصْلٌ كَبِيرٌ فِي جَمِيعِ الْأُمُورِ. Remember or know that as-sabra, patience, was-thabat, and also steadfastness or being able to stick to what you're doing, aslun kabir, is one of the most important pillars when it comes to seeking knowledge. And also in all affairs, fi jami'il umur, in all affairs, anything that you want to do and you want that thing to be beneficial, number one, you need to have patience in it. There are always going to be difficulty, and we need to understand nothing good comes so easy. All right? I remember today someone was trying to convince me that it's not easy getting married. If you get married, your independence is gone. That is true. But single person don't know that. Single person knows that when you go home, food is ready. When you go home, you take your clothes, someone will put it in the washing machine. They have no idea that even if you are on your phone, sometimes you will be questioned. You think you are an elderly person and you're told, since you entered, you've been on your phone all this time. You're not engaging with us. You go out and they said, you get a call. Up till now, where are you? You feel like your independence is gone, but you will not know it as a single person. All right? So the idea here is but is it good to have married? Of course. Anyone who is married don't want to see himself not married, even though all these difficulties are there. You get the point? No one want to say that, well, I want to be divorced. No one want that. But in reality also you don't have freedom. So the idea here is a single person don't know that. If a single person knows that, every single day as he stays single is opportunity to do something good when if he gets married he will not be able to do. But that person will not know that. So With the person who is going through these difficulties in marriage, does he want to leave it? No. He's having patience. Because every good thing, of course, will come with difficulty. So the idea here is as-sabr wa thabat. You need to have patience, and also you need to keep to it. You need to stick by it. Then the benefit will come. When you start counting your yahyas and then you start to understand, yes, the fruit of marriage is here in front of me. You know, you get up, you have someone to play with in your arms. When the single guys has no clue what's going on. Yes, they thought they have freedom, but they're missing this beautiful aspect in life as well. So there are difficulties. Definitely, no one can say that it's easy to get married. It is not. If being married, wallah, is difficult. I saw someone with gray hair today. I said, what? How long married? He said, man, it's not easy. You know, so the reality here is there. But when we have patience, then it pays. So he said, وَعَلَمْ أَنَّ الصَّبْرَ وَالثَّبَاتِ أَصْلٌ كَبِيرٌ فِي جَمِيعِ الْأُمُورِ وَلَكِنَّهُ عَزِيزٌ. But it is difficult. All right? So it is difficult, even though having patience and stick by it and go about it is good for every single person. But it is difficult. And that is reason that you see every now and then married couples have to go for counseling. They're not going for the counseling to get divorced. They should understand. He does not want that. She does not want this. Let's settle it. No. That is part of the difficulty. That is part of the difficulty. So for it to work, he said, وَلَكِنَّهُ عَزِيزٌ. But it is difficult. كما قيل, as it's been said. لكل إلى شعو الأولى حركات ولكن عزيز في الرجال ثبات. نعم. لكل إلى شعو الأولى حركات. For everybody to go to a higher level, to anything that is good, for you to achieve that, harakat, there are difficulties, there are challenges. Any good thing will come with challenges. And I remember one of our brothers, when he was going for marriage, he went and did everything, and then they started questioning to the extent that they said it's not going to happen. And he came and said, I've even given up, I don't even wonder, I said, no. These are the signs that shows that this will be good. Because if any good thing shouldn't come just that easy, you should have some sort of difficulty from whether it's from you or from them. But at the end of the day, have patience and it will work for you. And after 1.5 years, it came back to him and things work out. So, لِكُلٍّ إِلَى شَعْوِ الْأُولَى حَرَكَاتٍ. For everybody to be able to excel, to go and achieve something good, there will be harakat, there will be challenges. وَلَكِنْ but azizun, it is difficult al-thabat, to be able to stick by it. And among those who can do that are rijal. Anyone that is able to do that, that person is really a real man. Alright? So, وَلَكِنْ عَزِيزٌ فِي الرِّجَالِ thabat. Only few from men will go through these difficulties and be able to stick by that. And of course, anyone who excel in their life, you can understand, even if you inherit billions, if you cannot manage it, you lose it. That's the reality. All right? And some people, they can say, my dad was a scholar, but they were nobody because they don't want to go through those difficulties. You don't inherit scholarship anyway. You don't. You need to study. You need to learn. Your dad can be the mufti of the country. If you don't study, you are nobody. We need to understand that. Even though the scholars of the past, they will respect their teachers, children, out of the respect they give to their teachers, that does not make those kids scholars. If you don't study, it will just be, in this house there used to be a scholar, but it's gone. If you lose that person, you lose that knowledge. So you don't say because my dad was, you don't inherit that. No one inherit that. You need to work for it, no matter. So go and check all the scholars of the past. You see, they sent their kids away to go and study so that they don't get the luxury of, it's because my dad is the scholar. They send them away, go and face the challenges, so when they come home, they will appreciate. So those are the things we need to be mindful regarding this concept of taking a teacher, and also looking at the challenges that there will be faced when we are studying. We quickly touch a little bit and then we stop from here, inshallah. Qila, it's been said, ash-shaja'atu sabrun sa'a. Bravery is just to have patience just for an hour. You know, I saw a poster the other day, someone is saying, in the Bible, it says, don't beat your wives. In the Torah, it says, no, don't lift your hand on your wives. In the Quran, it says, do not beat them. The Prophet ﷺ said, do not beat them. And what did the wife say? If you are a man, touch me and see. Alright? She dares you to touch her if you are a man. So, you know, how do you manage this? You know? Sorry, we're not scaring you. You still get married, don't worry. We're not scaring you. You know? If you are a man, if you say you are a man, slap me and see. You are saying that as a Muslim, I have to respect you, and she's saying that if you are a man, touch me. What do you do? Okay? So, as-sabru sa'a, to have patience, just an hour, is what we call bravery. It's not about rushing and jumping into conclusion, using your muscle. It's not that. It's about the patience that you have. فَيَنْبَغِي لِطَالِبِ الْعِلْمِ أَنْ يَثْبُتَ وَيَصْبِرَ عَلَى أُسْتَاذٍ. So it is very important for students of knowledge to, first of all, stick to the teacher, have patience also with the teacher. It is very important. Just for your information, remember, Ustaz is not Arabic word, it's a Persian word borrowed, all right? So when we see such things, it's not. Arab don't have the word Ustaz. It does not even, it's not possible to have a word in that distance. So it's a borrowed word from Persia. Now, so you need to have patience and stick by the teacher. Sometimes you will come already, you cancel some programs, you want to come for the lesson, and then you go and then the teacher said, well, I'm not feeling to teach today. Just sit down and chit chat and then you go home. You feel like I could have done something. No, that's sitting down with the intention of studying, you still get the reward. So never feel like I've wasted my time, or I drove all the way and I came, the lesson did not go on. They could have told us so that I can use my time. No, never use that sort of mentality. Always remember, when you are going to study, it's ibadah. So have patience regardless of the challenges you might face. And I remember one of our teachers, you can start reading and then he said Bismillah Rahman Rahim. He said Bismillah Rahman Rahim. You start reading, he's dozing. He's already sleeping because he didn't sleep all night. You're reading and then you have to sit there for about 10, 15, 20 minutes. Then he got up and, so where were we? And you start again. That will not stop you from coming tomorrow. The idea here is, do not be interested in how much you take. The most important thing is, being there with the intention. With the small one, when Allah put barakah, it flourish and then you get better. Now, وَعَلَى كِتَابٍ حَتَّى لَا يَتْرُكَهُ abtar. And also when it comes to the book, the same thing. Some of us, unfortunately, we're sniffing here and there like a dog. You're doing this book, say, can I start this book? Or you saw someone doing another book, can I do that? Or you heard somewhere someone is doing another book, you want to jump to that. You don't do that in learning. If you really want the knowledge to be beneficial, stick to it and have patience. Wait for the guidance of the teacher. The teacher will tell you when he thought or feel like you are confident enough to go to the next stage, or you are confident enough to start another book. All right? So he said the same thing as you have patience with the teacher, have the same with the books as well, or with the knowledge. وَعَلَى فَنٍ حَتَّى لَا يَشْتَغَلْ فِي فَنٍ آخَرٍ. And the same thing applies to the sciences. You're doing fiqh, and you start asking, when can we start hadith? Or I want to start tafsir. Or I want to do that. It is not your call. Just keep going until the confidence is seen in you in what you're learning. Or maybe even, for example, for those of you who are doing Maliki Madhab, you started Ahdari and then you saw, can I start Inziya, or can I start Ashmawi, or can I go to Qurtabi, or can I go to Risala? You don't need to be going. Just wait. Take it easy, one step at a time. Some of these books, when you study them and understand them properly, when you take the higher one, it becomes easier because of the foundation. If you don't get a good foundation, then you struggle. And the same thing applies to teacher is looking at the idea and the dynamics. He sees that you might need this lesson. He himself will say, can we stop this and start this? Or can we add this to what you're doing? Because the comprehension is good. He knows you can handle it. But do not rush in trying to change books or sciences. Oh, can I start this? Can I do that? I want to do this. Don't do that. All right? Stick to what you're doing. Have patience until you get the guide or the support of the teacher to do so. نعم. حتى لا يشتغل بفن آخر قبل أن يتقن الأول. So don't rush in doing the next before you get that sort of reality of good grasp of the first one. وعلى بلد حتى لا ينتقل إلى بلد آخر. And the same thing applies to you are in one town studying and you feel like I heard someone is teaching in another town, you want to move. So when you keep doing that, you just keep going round and round and you will not get anything and come back zero. So it is very important, stick to one place. But if, let's say, you are in one town or you are with one teacher and you go all the way to all what the teacher is comfortable knowing, and he said, this is what I know. Any other, even though I know I'm not perfect in it, go to someone who knows better than me. You know, at that moment you have, or he has already blessed you with where you reach with him and then ask you to go somewhere else. But you do not be the one trying to push, or you do, as we made mention, you're doing one book with one teacher and go to another person seeking the same book as if you question this person's authority in that book. Don't do that. Now, so to do that, or to leave one person to the other, or to leave one book with the other, or to leave one town to the other, it should only be done with a condition there is a certainty or there is some difficulties that you have no choice but to move. So you do that because of the darura. فإن ذلك كله يفرق الأمور ويشغل القلب. If you do that, it will spoil all your affairs. You move from this to that, changing from this to that. Always, it will just waste your time and waste your life for nothing. And also your heart. Okay? Keep your heart busy from changing from one thing to the other. ويضيع أوقات, and waste your time. وَيُؤْذِي الْمُعَلِّمِ, and it will also hurt the teacher that you're learning from. All of a sudden, without any issue, you get up and say, no, I'm going to another teacher. Then you are questioning his knowledge about that, and don't do that. وَيَنْبَغِي أَنْ يَصْبِرْ أَمَّا تُرِيدُهُ نَفْسَهُ وَهَوَى. So one has to have patience from whatever their heart is desiring. قَالَ الشَّاعِرُ, this will be the last part inshallah. قال الشاعر, a poet said, إن الهوى لهو الهوان بعينه وسريع كل هوى سريع هوان. He said, إن الهوى, indeed desire, لهو الهوان بعينه, it is real humiliation. Our desire, our personal desire is real humiliation. وسريع كل هوى, and whatever that kills a person is the person who follows his hawa, follows his desire, that humiliation will kill him. Anyone that follows his personal desire, humiliation will kill him. All right? So we need to be very careful the way we follow our personal desire in the things that we do. All right? وَيَصْبِرُ عَلَى مِحَنٍ, and the same thing applies to having patience. عَلَى مِحَنٍ وَالْبَلِيَّاتِ. We'll take from that inshallah in our next lesson. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Inshallah, after Salat, then we take the fiqh class. Sisters, inshallah, after Salat. Those of you who are online, if you have question, more than happy to send it, inshallah. Someone